What's up, sports world, man? We got the WTP Sports Dudes podcast coming to you live this Saturday morning at 10 a.m. What's up? I got Robert and PostGame in the building. What's up with you, Rob? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm back from a long vacation, man. I missed y'all, man. I'm ready to get into something. Let's go.
Yeah, I hope that vacation was refreshing for you because it seemed like you already back at it.
They're already back at.
What's up with PostGame? We got PostGame in the building. How you doing, low post, mid post, high post?
Man, it is all good, man. I'm happy to be on with y'all yet again this morning to talk this lovely thing called sports.
Nah, facts, man. And I want to say Zaya, man, and I'm going to be hosting your show today. Man, we're going to jump right into it, man. Start off with some NBA talks, man. We a week away from the playoffs starting, man. Hey, I'm really excited for this playoffs. Even though my Lakers is banged up, I think we're going to get a lot of great matchups this year. But with it being 1 week away, let's talk about which potential first round matchup is the most intriguing to you.
Oh man, I gotta say the 3-6 matchup out west is really intriguing with the Denver Nuggets and Minnesota T Wolves. Those are when you got Jokic and you got Ant-Man, those are two of the five best players, top 10 best players going at it in the first round. It's going to be really interesting to see the Lakers and Rockets if LeBron James and company can hold off until the cavalry comes back and Luka and Reeves. I doubt it, but it's going to be an interesting watch nonetheless. Out east, maybe the Knicks and Raptors. I was higher on the Raptors coming into the season. I'm not so high on them now. I know they dealt with a little bit of injury, but I think that could be an intriguing first round matchup. But the one that I'm looking forward to the most has to be Minnesota and Denver.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's
usually
Minnesota different.
most
If
likely
Minnesota
those
healthy,
3-6
oh my
matchups.
bad, Rob.
Oh no, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was just saying if that Minnesota team get all the way healthy, that's going to be definitely a monster playoff series to start open up. Don't
Yeah,
tell me
like
we got the grand opening. We got the grand opening. We got parlay building. We had the pre-grand opening last week. This is the grand opening now. How you doing, Paul?
What's going down, man? I can't complain. Ain't nobody gonna listen to me.
There we go. This is the real grand opening. Once you hear those lines.
What's happening, fellas?
What's happening? What's happening, parlay?
Go ahead, Rob. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, usually those 3-6 matchups are usually the ones that are the most exciting whenever you get into the NBA playoffs. And so I'm interested to see what that Denver and Minnesota matchup is going to look like as well. Because those usually are the two matchups where the teams are probably the most evenly matched when you start looking at the players on each one of those rosters. So I'm interested in both of those 3-6 matchups.
So you looking at the Knicks and Toronto, and I want to say the Nuggets and Minnesota will post game.
Yeah.
Paul, we was talking about the most intriguing potential first round matchups with the NBA playoffs being a week away.
Who you say the Knicks is playing?
They got Toronto as the standings is currently set right now. I think it's like one or two more games. I don't really think Toronto can move up, but they could possibly move down. I think they tie with Orlando right now.
Yeah, because I know we last night my Celtics clicked in the number 2 seed locked in. So I'm gonna say I want to see what the Cavaliers bring, man. Whoever they playing, I think the Cavaliers and the Hawks, right? I want to see that series because I watched the Hawks play, man. They young. They ain't got it totally down right yet, but I like the Hawks lineup when they got the veteran CJ McCollum coming off the bench, and they got the young boy from North Carolina running the point. Well, he a point shooting guard wherever he is. I like him, and I want to see that Cavaliers, can they get over the hump when they just got Harden, because Harden supposed to be the X factor for them. So that's what I want to see, Cavaliers and the Hawks.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It's so many great possibilities of matchups this year. The number one matchup though, it's a 1 versus 8. I want Charlotte to sneak into that 8 spot, and I want, because they've been fighting all year every time they match up. They really do not like, that's like a little mini rivalry brewing between all them young boys. So I want to see Charlotte and Detroit for real. And then another one I would say is if Philly can get to the 7th seed and we can see a Boston Philly first round. Healthy Embiid with a healthy Embiid, oh man, that'd be crazy because like
he hurt for the year.
He out for the year. I think he was in the hospital. They said he out for the year.
Yeah, he out for the year.
Oh, it's over. It's slow for them. Well, they might as well lose in the play-in. I don't even want to see them in the playoffs. Just go ahead, drop to 11 and get you a lottery pick, bro. But out west, man, you know, my Lakers is so beat, man. That would have been an amazing series if we was healthy going up against that Rocket team. But I'm gonna have to just leave it with post game and that Denver Minnesota series. I think that's the one that we could identify and be like, the lower seed actually got the best chance to beat the higher seed. I think the Spurs and the Thunder take care of business. And then when you talk about the Lakers, even if we land at that 4th spot, don't nobody really expect us to do too much just because we banged up. So I'm gonna have to go with post game on that one as well. Next question on the docket: will anybody be able to challenge the Thunder and Spurs out west to possibly make an NBA Finals appearance?
Denver. The way Jokic playing right now, I like Denver. I like Denver. They coming together well, man. I like Denver, man. I like Denver. So I would say Denver.
Yeah, I was going to say Denver as well, but I'm going to go in a different direction since Parlay picked Denver. I'm going to go with this Houston team, man. I listened to Charles Barkley saying if Kevin Durant is going to be mentioned with some of the greats in the NBA, he's a great. But if he's going to be mentioned with some of the greats, he's going to have to win a championship without the Warriors. So I'm going to pick that Houston team. They're young with a veteran Kevin Durant. Can they put it all together? Can they make some plays down the stretch and keep themselves in games to where they could possibly go to their veteran to pull out some victories for them? So I'm going to pick the Houston Rockets.
Hey, this is an interesting fact I heard this morning. Kevin Durant has only won one playoff series since he left the Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah, Houston to me is an intriguing team. I love their coach. Say what you want about their coach. We know the debacle he had years ago, but he's a hell of a coach, man. And I love the way he strategizes and puts in plays for his teams. I would not be surprised if the Houston Rockets did make a run, especially because of how the Lakers are banged up. But I mean, for me, it's the Denver Nuggets. And I think I said this months ago. I believe it was Rob who asked the question of which team nobody is talking about can make a run. I said Denver. I thought it was an obvious pick back then. But anyway, I think the Nuggets can beat the Spurs. I don't think the Nuggets can beat the Thunder. And I think the Spurs can beat the Thunder. You see what I'm saying? It's like a triangle theory. But if any one of those teams can challenge OKC and San Antonio, for me, I can't go against the Joker, man. That dude is on fire.
Yeah. You got to think, Mozilla, Joe Mozilla, he won with emos of people. You know what I mean? Like that Celtic team, that was dude's people.
100%, Poe, and I think Boston can win the championship. I think
we got to get Tatum from not settling so much. So I be seeing me favor that knee a lot, but you know it's going to be like that. But we got to get him. He's 6'11" with handles. You know what I mean? Sometimes he be a 6'6" dude on him, and he gonna shoot the three. No, back him up. You know what I mean? Back him down. He's 6'11" with handles. So once we get him not to settle, it's gonna be a different, because we already know JB playing lights out right now.
And Tatum been rebounding his ass off. And let me tell y'all why I like the Celtics so much, because they have humongous wings. Their versatility they're a matchup nightmare with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Those are some huge wings. That's like a cheat code with the style of play of basketball today. When you got guys like that on the perimeter who can guard multiple positions and can be matchup nightmares on the offensive end. That's why I like the Celtics so much. And you parlay that with I think they got great coaching and great role players as well.
Hey, Poe, I ain't gonna lie to you. We've been saying Tatum been settling for a long time, man, but I feel like his recipe work. You know, I don't want to change it.
Yeah, but I said I'm saying, like, the older he get, he gonna know that he a matchup nightmare down there. You remember how Jordan used to play? You know what I mean? Like, once Jordan found out could nobody stop that fadeaway, you know what I mean? Jordan would take you right down there on that box. You know, like Kobe. Kobe the same way. You know, once they found out when they got older, when they found out they had an unstoppable move, you know, and then they found out. So Tatum got to know what's his unstoppable move when he got a little dude on him.
Yeah, I think all the greats eventually adjust their game. Like you seen it from LeBron. You know, LeBron he started going to the back to the basket, but young LeBron, he was just faster, quicker. He was getting to the rim, just going downhill all game. You know what I mean? So yeah, especially Miami Heat LeBron. That was probably the scariest Brown we ever seen. Man, Rob, did you go?
Yeah, I went.
Oh, okay. Man, listen, I ain't gonna lie, bro. The West is always sticky and tricky, man. But I think the Thunder and the Spurs is on another level for real. I would have gave LA a puncher's chance. But if I had to just say one thing, if the Warriors can creep into this playoff, bro, I never want to face no Curry. I think he make everybody else around him better. And man, if you gonna draw either the Spurs or the Thunder. If you beat one of them and you upset one of them in the first round, I mean, you might end up being the favorite after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Porzingis,
you know what? You know, that's a good pick. But you know why I won't say the Warriors? Because they don't have them big underachieving, overachieving guys, I should say, like the Moonies and the Looney dudes. They don't have them guys like Kuminga gone. They don't have that type of dudes no more. Everybody's on the perimeter. They don't got no. Draymond Green is the only guy, and he won't even shoot a layup like 2 feet in front of him. He won't even do that. They don't got them gritty dudes like that. And they do have one, Gary Payton, but he a little guy though. You know, so that's why I won't say the Warriors. But every time you got stuff, you know what I mean, that it's always a chance.
You know how I feel about it. I feel like he's the best player of this generation. If he's one of these guys that him and Bron, they on the same level for real. I ain't gonna disrespect Bron, but I think Curry is slightly better player of this generation. But anytime you got one of them guys and you got a decent cast around him, like Porzingis, Porzingis, Draymond, and Gary Payton, and the lefty, whose name I cannot pronounce. I think that's a crew enough for Curry to accidentally get somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember the days when I'm watching Kobe with no crew, and this is just greatness, you know. And we taking them Suns teams to 7 games in the first round. I just think sometimes you get great performances from great players that it might get sticky. Y'all got anything else to add to that? All right. Who is your NBA Finals matchup?
I'm going with Boston and SGA and the Thunder.
Yeah. I ditto that.
It's crazy work. That's 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, man. Wnba different, bro. I'm real curious about how he about to act in this playoff, bro. Like in a 7-game series. I'm going to Spurs. I'm going to Spurs in Boston. I think the Spurs gave them all they could handle in the regular season, and I think the Thunder know they gonna be in a fight for their life, but they still hungry from last year. So it's kind of iffy. I like this run that SGA is on too, but my only problem with the Thunder is I think J Dub disappears sometime, bro, and he ain't gonna be able to disappear against his first team. They got too much perimeter defense.
But you know, Wnba hurt, them Reds hurt. You know they're gonna try to get physical. You remember the last game they played, it was over physical. You know that last game they played, it was over physical. It was some techs involved in that game, so they're gonna try to target them Reds for Wnba. If that matchup do be in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, I think the Spurs could give OKC tons of trouble if they met in the conference finals. But the saving grace for them, when you speak about that matchup, is that Denver could send San Antonio home, in my opinion. And I think Denver is a much better matchup for OKC than San Antonio. San Antonio might be in OKC's head if we keeping it a bean.
Yeah, definitely playing Denver because if it's one player that can kind of neutralize what Wnba does is Jokic, just because how his frame is built. He can get it to his body. You know what I mean? Neutralize a little bit of that. Good morning, Level Up Sports. Thank you for being in the comments, homie. We wish you was up here. But man, I'm telling you, man, them dudes play so much good defense on that perimeter, and I ain't never really seen SGA really get locked up other than when he play up against the boy Castle, bruh. That boy Castle be all on, bruh. Like he be locking bruh up for real. I ain't gonna lie. Like it's really crazy for real. Hey, but y'all got anything else to add to the NBA before we switch over to the NFL? All right, we jumping right into the NFL then. Travis Hunter, the Jags announced that he'll be playing DB full time this season. Do y'all think this is the best route for him? And are the Jags making the right decision about which side of the ball he will play on?
You know, I said last year when he was getting drafted that eventually he was going to have to play defensive back because that is the position in the NFL where you don't get a dime a dozen. You know what I'm saying? You can get wide receivers all the time, man. They come a dime a dozen. Good defensive backs, good corners, they don't come a dime a dozen. I think that's the best route for him. I think once he begins to focus on that alone, he will maximize his talent and be really, really good for that Jaguars organization. And I think this is a perfect time for them to go ahead and say, listen, you know, this is what we need from you. And you can go out there and make it happen for us to become one of the best corners in the NFL. And we know how well they get paid once they show how good they can play.
Yeah,
Well, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Post.
right on. Man, listen, it's one thing to play both ways in college, right? The NFL is the best of the best, man. It's like the Marines. Like you got the best athletes when it comes to football, the physicality, the speed of the game. I thought it was a tough sell with him coming in as a rookie and not being, he's kind of slight built and expecting him to play both sides of the ball, and he ended up getting injured for the duration of the season. But I think playing DB is good for Travis Hunter and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The wide receiver room in Jacksonville is actually solid, especially with them having Jacoby Myers, Parker Washington. So I think they'll be fine at the wide receiver position. They got to be able to stop some opposing wide receivers. And I think Travis Hunter is still a great talent at the DB position. Maybe he can sprinkle in on a trick player or two throughout the season, but he definitely need to be assigned to the opposing team's best wide receivers when you talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, I think this was a great choice by Travis Hunter and the Jaguars because, like you said, he's slightly built, and we talked about this like last year that I don't think he will be able to hold up playing both ways in the NFL, where you have elite talent, and for him to play corner and take away that side of the field, like all the good corners do, take away that side of the field, or him matching up with their best receiver. This is going to be longevity for him. And then he showed his worth. Corners don't come dime a dozen. Like No said, they don't come dime a dozen. So you can get a lockdown corner. This could be his big payday right here. You know what I mean? Lockdown corner. Travis Hunter. This is what we want to see. You know what I mean? And then with that stacked AFC, this is what we want to see. Travis Hunter on somebody's best receiver or just locking down one side. So Jaguars, I think they had a long talk about this, but I'm glad they came to a decision that he only going to play on one side of the ball.
Yeah, I think I was the odd man out, man. I thought he could go both ways, I thought he got a Ferrari engine. I don't even think they tried to use him like a Ferrari engine either. So, but I'm slowly moving towards y'all side of the ball with this one, just because his frame, bro. We seen his frame can't hold up. If you get injured and you get put out for the season, that's enough evidence for me. Go ahead, get on that defensive side of the ball, man. Lock somebody down. I still think he's an explosive dude. You still need to figure out a way to get the ball in his hands. I wouldn't even be upset if you made him your punt returner. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he need to get the ball in his hands a few times a game, though.
Well, if he gonna get the ball in his hands, he better get some interceptions because I'm telling you right now, in the NFL, bro, they see you playing both ways. They eventually is going to exploit something. I'd rather he be the guy that's going to dish out the punishment than catching passes and taking punishment because we, like everybody said, he's slider built. It's just not good for him and his future as an NFL player to go both ways and try to do it at the level he did it in college. I just think it's not a good, smart move to do.
You opposed to giving him a couple punt returns?
I would not. Hell no, I wouldn't put him on no punt return.
Yeah.
I would not do that. Yeah, you want the ball? Get an interception. Get a fumble recovery. Then you can do all the damn things you want to do.
Hey, man, listen, we got the NFL draft coming up, too. What are some of y'all's leading storylines heading up to this NFL draft?
My storyline is the where the quarterback's going to be picked because they saying Simpson ain't going to be in the first round. and this teams need quarterbacks, and they talking about Pittsburgh gonna get Nussmeier late in the 6th round or something again. So that, and then I got to see where y'all's 2 defensive players land. The random quick 40s.
Sonny Styles and Arvell.
Yeah.
For a minute there, I thought maybe the Raiders would go in a different direction and not pick Mendoza, but I think all of that noise got quieted over the past week. I think they're going to go ahead and pull the trigger on picking him number 1. But I really want to see where Ty Simpson lands. Will he be able to be a quarterback that's picked in the 1st round? Because I don't think we've ever had an NFL draft where they didn't have at least 2 quarterbacks picked in the 1st round. And this is one of those drafts where there's so much freaking talent in this draft, especially on the defensive side of the ball, that I think we could possibly get a draft where there's only 1 quarterback that gets drafted. Another thing, I want to see where Caleb Downs go. He didn't have a spectacular 40 time, but he's so freaking smart, man. Will teams back away from him because of his 40 time? I'm anxious to see if that happens. I don't think they should. I don't think that would be a good idea for them, but I want to see if that plays out that way.
Yeah, those are some really good points, y'all. I mean, when you talk about storylines heading into the NFL draft, it's like, where do I begin? I think it starts with the 2nd pick. You know, you starting to hear, I thought Arvell Reese was a lock for the 2nd overall pick, but David Bailey can creep up into that spot. The wide receivers in this draft, where do they go? KC Concepcion is a guy that's moving up the boards. Some GMs that's being talked to say, we can get him in the 2nd round. Some of them say, man, I don't know if he might make it in the top 15 picks. Mekhi Lemon, I think it would be a mistake if teams let Mekhi Lemon fall to the Rams. And then you got Carnell Tate, the Ohio State wide receiver. Where does he go? Initially, I thought he'd be a top 6 pick. I didn't think Cleveland could let him get past them at 6, but it looks like they're going to go for the tackle instead of the wide receiver with their 2 first-round picks. So the wide receiver position is extremely interesting. Then you got the big offensive lineman, fellas. Listen. I on my show, Respect It or Check It, I asked, will they break the record for first-round offensive linemen taken with 9? They very well could break that record. It's a lot of offensive linemen that can go in this 1st round. There's a lot of storylines. And then you talk about Rob's Tennessee Titans. Will they look for an edge rusher? Will they look for a defensive player to help that defense that gets barbecue left and right, my man? Or will they go with the running back from Notre Dame and Jeremiah Love? Kenyon Sadiq, interesting tight end prospect, man. Ran in the 4.3s. He's a guy who could be a matchup nightmare down the middle of that field, down that seam in the NFL. So it's so many different storylines, man.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been mad if you would have talked about even more. You know, you was cooking right there, Post. Hey, but I'm trying to see if I can get 4 Buckeyes in the top 5, man. They said this ain't been done since 1967. That'd be crazy if we got 4 going to top 5, you know. I'm with you as well. Whoever mentioned the quarterbacks, man, I want to see about these quarterbacks. I want to see if Ty Simpson can slip into this 1st round. Who would possibly take him? Got my eyes on the Jets and the Rams. Rams probably go defense, but you never know because Stafford is up there. He had them back issues. We know he won MVP last year, but it's about time to get his successor in there. Any season, he could be like, I'm done. So I think they need to definitely there's a few teams that definitely need to look at Simpson. You know, it's some of these scouts out here that look at him too, and they just like, he got 1st round tape in the first 6-7 games, and then the last 6-7 games, you know, he came back. But I guess he was dealing with some health injury or something. I want to see if they're going to weigh that or not. as well. Yeah, I like the receiver storyline. Just because I'm one of them people that think Brazil is a first round talent that probably won't get picked till day two. I spoke about him. It's so many different guys though out there at the receiver position that I feel like it's going to be day one guys. As soon as they step on to an NFL organization into an organization that they're going to be able to help teams. Um, and I'm looking at my Buccaneers, of course. You know, I think we all locked in on our teams. Hey, Poe, y'all gave up on Will Howard already, though?
Nah, I don't know what they doing, man. They we I think we about to sign the old man back, man. He can't even move because we got old man McCarty too, man. I want to ask y'all a question though. With Big Boy Lawrence for the Giants demanding a trade, what would you do in the draft? I'm like, would you give up a first rounder for him? Cause dude is special. Dude is special, and he played the middle of the line. He's not a DN. He's a middle guy. He's a nose guard, and he's special right there, like that Aaron Donald dude. He one of them dudes.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
Lord.
go ahead,
Go ahead,
Rob.
folks. No, you go ahead, folks.
No, I was just gonna say that's an interesting question, man. And I was just about to cook on Pittsburgh. A lot of interesting things can happen with your Steelers, Poe, in that first round, quarterback being one of them, depending on what they do with Mr. Rogers. But Dexter Lawrence, man, that's interesting because he's such a game changer. Like if you a team that's in contention and maybe you got a later round first pick and you can package that with some other things to get him, I'm doing it, man. When you can lock down that middle like that with a player like that, I think that's a chance I gotta take. But it could all be posturing though. He might just be trying to get some money. I don't know if New York is willing to pay him that type of money, but he could still end up being with the Giants. We'll see. But if I'm a team that has troubles up the middle of the field, I'm definitely trying to package a deal to get that man. Game changer.
Yeah, I think that his agent, Lawrence and his agent are brilliant, man. They understand the game and listen, they out there fishing for real. Because they know that somebody is going to want to get this guy and they know that he's going to be able to cash in. And I think they just playing it the way they supposed to play it. When you got a player as good as Dexter Lawrence, they understand that listen, we gonna ask for a trade, and either New York is gonna give us some bread or somebody else is. Because this guy is somebody that if my Titans wanted him, I would be more than happy for them to get him to help that defense because my man needs some help. This next one, we never know what Travandre Sweat is going to be like. He stays injured a little bit too much for me. Even though he's a Texas guy, but I think that if I'm a Titans GM, I would definitely look at what it's going to take to get him and see if we can possibly make something happen. Because I would love to see Dexter Lawrence in a Titans uniform.
Yeah, I think it just got to make sense. I think if you feel like your defense is a piece or two away and your offense is a piece or two away, and you think you can clean that up in the draft, I think you shoot for it because windows close fast in the NFL. I don't understand. Like Rob said, his Titans. I wouldn't start with people like that just because it's so much things that y'all need. You got so many holes in the team. How competitive do you think y'all gonna be next year? You might as well keep those resources. So if I'm maybe a middle of the pack team though, oh yeah, and I feel like he could push my defense to maybe one of the better defenses in my definitely in my division. If you like third defense in your division, but this is the piece that's gonna make your defense the best in your division, oh yeah, go ahead and make that decision right now. We don't even need to talk about it. But yeah, it depends on the right thing. I wonder why he want to. I am curious about why he want to go. I know Post you was saying maybe this is money thing. He trying to probably pull some more money out of him, but I really do want to know what the real reason is, because the Giants, if they hit on this draft, man, they gonna be a scary team to deal with next year, man, in that NFC East.
Yeah, especially with Harbaugh the coach now. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they get rid of him, it's like starting over in that front.
Yeah.
I'm like, he that centerpiece. You build around him, like, after that.
Yeah.
Then they got the one dude, the pass rusher. The pass rusher who got hurt last year, from Oregon. He nice.
Yeah, and I don't think you can identify no interior guy in this draft on that type of level, bro. Like, what's your boy that came out of Michigan a couple years ago that went to the Browns?
You talking about Mason? Yeah.
Yeah, Mason. See, we all felt like Mason. At least I did. Let me speak for myself. I felt like Mason was a game changer. I don't see no interior dude coming out this year that I feel like is going to be an absolute game changer. You know what I'm saying? So that's a different caliber type of dude right there. Y'all got any other storylines y'all want to talk to before I hop in this comment section?
Yeah, post Pittsburgh Steelers is going to be interesting, man, because they got a late first round pick. Ty Simpson might be there for them to take. What do you do? Do you keep Rodgers and kind of let him groom Ty Simpson, with Ty Simpson having limited starts in the college game? Let him develop and come along and have your quarterback of the future? Or do they go elsewhere? Another interesting position to watch in the draft, fellas, is the linebacker position. We know that Arvell Reese is going to go super early, but outside of that, do we get another linebacker in the first round? Some teams are falling in love with Rodriguez from Texas Tech. So it'd be interesting to see where he goes. I hope that Rob's boy, Hill from Texas, falls into the second round, because I hear my Colts are liking what they see from him, and he could be our second round pick, seeing as though we don't have a first. But definitely Poe, them Steelers is a team to watch in the first round.
Hey, I think this is a pretty deep linebacker class too. There's some good linebackers out there this year. Like Rodriguez won the linebacker award. He ain't even supposed to be a day 2 pick. You still got Anthony Hill, CJ Allen, both out of the SEC, who are I think they start day 1 in the NFL. So you got what, 5? The top 6 linebackers. Arvell Reese, they still consider him linebacker. So I don't know. You can do whatever you want with him. But let's tap into some of these comments. Level F Sports 10 said Jeremiah Love and what he brings to an organization as a running back, and also Ty, my guy at QB. I think he talking about storylines. What team makes draft day moves as well? Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. We always got some shenanigans on draft day. Also said he respect them offensive linemen with the possible record this year. I think he referring to what PostGame was talking about. Shout out to Poe on that one. I can't get them words out my mouth though.
Hey, I'm mad at you.
I can't get it out. Hey, everybody was in the chat saying congratulations, man. I typed it 3 times and deleted, bro. I couldn't do it.
Hey, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you.
Hey, I ain't get disrespectful though. Hey, man, let's switch over to the WNBA, man. These Supermax contracts are here, man. I want to hear y'all's thoughts on it. We got several players that signed or are in the process of signing these Supermax contracts. Got Aja Wilson. Who else? I think Kelsey Mitchell just signed one. Jamie Young, I think she was the first one to actually really do it. It's quite a few out there, though. What's y'all's thoughts on these Supermax contracts? And do y'all think this is the route that we're going to continue to see. But I've been seeing a lot of these contracts, or most of these contracts, are 1 year deals too. I want y'all to give me y'all's opinion on, do y'all think y'all see more girls start to take discounts but more years on their contracts as well? But go ahead, give me y'all's thoughts.
Yeah, I like the fact that they have an opportunity to make some money, man. I like the Supermax thing. I like the fact that they can have a player that's going to make 1 million plus a year um, on their roster. Even might even get close to two of those players. And I think it's good for the women's game. It's something that they've always wanted to build up to. It's here now, and I think that eventually you're going to get players who are going to have supermax contracts who are going to decide, hey, listen, I'll take a little bit less money in order to build a much better team because I want to eventually have a championship next to my name. And I think some of those women who play the game, they think like that. They want to look out for the other women who are in the game. On the men's side, they may not do that as much in the beginning. They'll start doing that later on after they done made a whole bunch of bread. But the women haven't made a whole bunch of bread yet, and I can see them taking a little bit less in order for their sister to get a little bit more money.
Yeah, I would think so. Congratulations to them. You know, the Supermax. I don't think it's really the deal they wanted, though. I think they wanted more. You know, everybody want more, but that's what they had to settle for because they still be in the red, though. You know what I mean? Like these teams still be in the red. So for them to sign for this money is a good look for them, and I think Asia, she the start of it all, man. You know what I mean? Once she start doing everything she been doing, she the face of the W for real. So they need to keep her on hand, and the few couple players that they have right now, keep them going. And I'm proud of them.
Yeah, 100%, fellas. I mean, this is what they wanted. They wanted to get paid like professional athletes, the great athletes that they are. So salute to them. Of course, they probably wanted a little more, but I mean, to have your supermax, the number on your supermax go up like that, I'm pretty sure they'll take it. But as far as them taking less, let's take for example, Arike Agumbawale out of guard U Notre Dame, may I add. Uh, she set up. I think she just signed her supermax contract, and she could have got 1.7 mil, but she's taken less than that 1.7 mil in order to help the team build around her and Paige Beckers. So in that aspect of taking a little less, I think the majority of the ladies, and I don't think they selfish at all, but they definitely want to get that bag, feeling as though they've been underpaid for the duration of the league. But I think for situations like that where they can add pieces around their star players, they took a little bit less when they signed those supermax contracts. I think you'll see a lot of that. And while we talking about those Dallas Wings, it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with that first pick, having big bets there and AZ Fudd, seeing as though they probably don't need another guard with Agumbawale and Paige Beckers. But AZ Fudd will be there, and Lauren Betts will be there for them to pick with the first overall pick.
Who would you go with, Post?
I would go with Betts, man. I mean, you got your guards, you got Arike, you got Paige Beckers. That's as good as anybody's guards. Go ahead and get you that 6'7" center who can anchor your defense and control that backboard.
Yeah, that's why I threw that question in there too, Post, because I was saying Arike, she was the one that did. I want to see if she's gonna be the transmitter, and you seeing more and more of it. You know, But shout out to all these women, man. Get y'all's bag, man. Hey, listen, I was geeked when somebody sent me the little thread about Kelsey getting paid because, that's my fellow Buckeye. I'm just proud, that they able to get these bags. Probably start doing more out here. Rob know this. We just had a little thing at Douglas with our kids where they were teaching basketball. I don't know if the WNBA players ever showed up, but I guess the WNBA was supposed to be over there and running our kids through some drills. So just stuff like that, for our kids to look up to, young girls over there. That's just gonna give them more motivation to get to the sport. Hey, did the WNBA girls ever show up?
I don't know. I didn't go back over there for the afternoon session. I only made it over there for the morning session, and they hadn't gotten there yet. But they did say they were coming down from Cleveland, so they may have made it for the afternoon session.
Yeah, that was dope for sure. Y'all got anything else y'all want to add to the WNBA?
Now that they're getting this money and they have a little bit more change in their pocket, they really got to go out there and promote their sport. They gotta put boots on the ground and start putting some. As Parlay Post said, they still in the red. They still in the red. Now that you get this money, that's gonna put you even further in the red if you don't put butts in those seats. So they really got to go out there and do the legwork. I think the game for the women is growing at a rapid pace, and they can take advantage of this right now. If all of them got buy-in and go out there and do what they need to do the legwork to get butts in those seats.
Nah, for sure.
That's a really good point, Rob, because that's what I was kind of thinking. I was going to ask y'all, do y'all think the influx of money is going to make the players be more lackadaisical on the court, or do you think they play harder?
Well, they always play hard. Them girls, they play harder than the men. They always play harder. So I would think that this will be a good motivation factor for them. Because I'm saying like Caitlin and them, Caitlin's superstar. You know what I mean? Like, even though the girls don't want to see it, but Caitlin's a superstar. And for people that's reacting, young ladies reacting off of her, see her play hard, they out there. They gotta play harder, man.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. The difference between the men's game and the women's game is I really think some of them women don't like each other.
Probably not. Probably not.
They be trying to go at each other like that for real though. Go ahead, Post.
I just wanted to ask y'all this real quick. What do y'all think about Angel Reese being traded to the Dream?
All I know is them ticket sales done went up.
Yeah. It was like 2 first rounders or something. What was it?
Yep, 2 first rounders.
I mean, you have to make that move because of the fact that you're going to get 2 first rounders. So you got to make that move for the future. But at the same time, it's like, man, Angel Reese is one of those other semi-faces of the league, and she puts butts in the seats. People like all of the drama that comes behind her, whether it's good or bad, So I think she's a marketable person. So you would probably want to keep her, but if you can get 2 first-round picks, man, you gotta make that move.
Yeah, and she gonna play. Because there ain't no load management in WNBA. They don't be doing stuff like that. You know what I mean? Them ladies play. You know what I mean? They play. So if it's for the money, get the butts in the seats, yes, that was a good move.
I honestly thought they could have got a little bit more for Pretty Brown rebound. I thought they could because it's like you getting the premier, easily the top rebounder in the league and it's not even a first rounder for this year's draft. It's 27 and 8, 28. I thought they could have got a little bit more for
Well, shout out to the GM for the dream. You sound like you did your job.
Yeah.
Y'all got anything else y'all want to talk about with WNBA? All right, before we slide over to college football, man, I had this on my notepad that I was gonna throw out here if we was making good timing. But did y'all see the money breakdown, man, from March Madness? The Big Ten collected 69 million, Michigan 14.7 in total. I think the SEC was right behind them in like at 57 million or something. But that 69 million was all collected between both sides, women and men's, the 21 teams that they have represent. But it's something called a unit where if you make the tournament, you get a unit price. Each round you go, you get another unit, but it's spread out through 6 years. So one unit might be 350,000, but they don't pay you all that up front. They pay you through a 6 year period, man. But do y'all think this is why we're seeing a lot of NIL transfers go to certain schools, and these funds used directly to go back into the team that's getting built next year?
I'm quite sure that's part of it. It gotta be. I mean, anytime you got money that's transferring hands from the NCAA to these universities, and they want to use it in that way. And I'll just take Texas for instance. You know, Texas is not one of those tier one teams who spend a lot of money on basketball. Now they're the tier one of all tier one schools when it comes to the football program. But they need to understand and listen. You can build a championship caliber team if you are willing to spend the kind of money that it takes to get some of these players to come to your university. And I think when you can make this kind of money for your conference and for your university, you got to be willing to invest some of that money back into that program, the basketball program, since that's what we're talking about. And I think that got to be part of it. You got to be willing to spend some money in order to recoup some money on the other end when you make these NCAA tournaments, especially if you make a really nice run.
Hey, and let me add this too before post game and pogo. You know, it's not the same as football when a team make the college football playoff and they got to distribute the money. It's really up to the discretion of the conference of how they distribute the money. But as you advance, you get you get your base sum from making the tournament, and as you advance, but it's still extra money left, and they can distribute that however they want.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Like, how was it distributed? But yeah, man, you got to pour that back into the team that got you there. You know what I mean? Like, just like Michigan, they just signed the big man like 2 days in the portal. The dude, hey, if you can't beat them, join you. We put BTA on Tennessee. Look, we got their big man now. You know what I mean? If you can't beat us, join us. Come on in. Y'all gotta come on in. Go blue. Y'all gotta come on in. That's what I'm saying. Like, this money, man. I'm saying pour that money back. That's what Ohio State need to do.
Yeah, I mean,
Had to throw that one in there, huh?
I mean, it's March Madness, March Madness. You feel me? It's like, this is why you want as many teams for your conference in the NCAA tournament. When Zay talks about the units and how everybody gets paid, the distribution of cash that goes into some of these basketball programs is crazy. Like, like when you break it down, like, I know some schools favor their money to the NFL or to the college football team, but some of those schools, like a Duke, they spend a lot of money on them rosters, man, and that's why they want results from Duke's coach. So, I mean, you've been hearing rumblings about them being not satisfied with the results they're getting with the type of money that they pour into them programs. So, I mean, if you can get your basketball team that type of money, you should be competing for championships every single year. It is so easy in this new era of college basketball. Look at Michigan. Look at what they did. They assembled that team and they got the job done. Your Arizonas, teams like that, man. So they got a lot of money to play with. And the more successful you are in these NCAA tournament runs, the more money that should be poured into your program to keep the success going.
Yeah, y'all got very good points on that, man. Hey, I ain't even got nothing to add to it. We're gonna go over here to the college football world. To end it out, we rounding out at 55 minutes. Hey, when is y'all spring game, and what are y'all looking forward to learning about your team? Or is there anything that y'all think y'all can learn about y'all's team in spring games?
Ours is the 18th. Nephew, my nephew, little Larry, and Jermaine Baker. We gonna go down there. I'm trying to get Big Ronnie on board, but he already said Willingham already said he's seen enough from the first team, first and a little bit of the second team, that you're gonna be seeing the third and fourth team out there on the spring game trying to see who they are. So I don't know what I expect to see. Good role players, you know what I mean? If they already seen what they need to see, I'm just there to watch, support.
You there to put some money into the program. You bought them tickets.
Ain't no tickets. We just got to pay $40 parking. That's all.
Hey, that's putting money into the program.
I know like that.
Ohio State is the only top-tier program in the country that charges for a spring game.
Hey, it's cheaper for me to go to my spring game than him. He paying $40 for a parking ticket. I'm paying $10 in free parking.
Yeah, but I got to get there though. You know what I mean? That's the thing.
Hey, that's not true, Rob. Preferred seats at Notre Dame Stadium is upwards of 100, but if you want just a seat, that's at least 25. So
really,
yes,
our preferred seats is a rack.
Your preferred seats is a rack.
They're $1,000, bro.
That's nasty work, bro.
Hey, in general admission, that it's like the first three rows, the sidelines, all the way around the field. So, and then everything else is general admission, $10.
Yeah, that's nuts. I think spring games should be free. If they want to charge you anything, it should be the parking. But I mean, Notre Dame is gonna have their spring game on the 25th of this month. I'm excited about that. There's so many things I'm looking forward to seeing. Poe's boy, Sanders is one of the guys that I've been hearing a lot of good things about. The transfer from Michigan. It seems like they're playing him all over the field. He'll be in the nickel. He'll be on the boundary. So I'm interested to see, how he fits into the scheme and how he looks in the spring. Leonard Moore, a lot of people consider the top corner in college football. I know I do at least. But I want to see if there's another level to his game. Like, we know he's extremely good and definitely an NFL talent, but is there another level he can get to in the spring? Backup quarterback. I mean, we all know CJ Carr's the dude at Notre Dame, but who's going to win that backup role is going to be extremely crucial, because the way the schedule is, Notre Dame should be blowing out teams. And by the third, fourth quarter, CJ Carr should be sipping Gatorade with his helmet off. That running back room, I want to see how healthy Kedron Young is, because that dude is about 240, 230 and built like a robot, like a Terminator or something. So I want to see how he fits into that running scheme and if he's healthy enough to play. The defensive line, you got transfers, Francis Brew and Tion Gray from Oregon, Francis Brew from Pittsburgh. I want to see if they can win the starting spots. I know you got Jason Onye in there, Armel Mookum, a couple other guys vying for playing time. But, I mean, outside of that, the wide receivers from Ohio State, Zay's guys, I know Quincy Porter probably won't play in this game. He's been out in the spring. But Mylan Graham, that dude moved different, man. bruh, Violent Graham, that dude is moving different. So it's just more so depth pieces. I kind of know what I'm gonna get from this team as far as their talent, but I want to know how the depth chart is shaking out.
Yeah, Texas, they're not having a spring game, but they're going to have like a fan appreciation scrimmage where they're not keeping score or anything like that. They're going to, you know how most spring games, your starters get out there maybe 2 possessions and then you don't see them anymore. Texas is trying to get away from that and have the fans be able to have an opportunity to see the players for a longer period of time. So you're going to have ones on one scrimmaging and twos on twos to where you're going to see them all out there play, upwards of 50 plays a piece. And I think they want to give the fans the opportunity to really see the bulk of the players actually get some reps. So they're going to go to this format this year, and it might be the format that they use here on out, where they have just like a glorified scrimmage where the fans can see the players doing what they would normally do in a normal practice, along with a scrimmage session.
So, are we gonna learn anything from that fan appreciation scrimmage?
Well, I think what we're going to get to see is we're going to get to see some of those younger players are going to get probably more reps than they normally would get. So we're going to get to see that. And we're going to actually get to see Arch Manning longer than what we would see him in a scrimmage. And along with Cam Coleman and the first team guys. So we're going to get to see what those first team linemen are doing in place of those players on the line who are not practicing during the spring. Like Trevor Gooseby is not practicing much in the spring, and we won't see any of him during this time, but we'll get to see the guy who is probably going to be the backup to him get a lot more reps than what we normally would see. And we'll get to see some of those dynamic freshmen, see what they can do out there as well.
Yeah. Hey, are y'all? This is a question to all y'all. Are y'all scrimmages or practice games being televised?
Yeah, BTN be doing that.
Yep.
I don't know what they do local, but I know BTN do that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been I watched Clemson's spring game a week and a half ago.
What was it on?
It was on ACC Network.
Yeah. I think their networks are going to pick it up, but I don't think that the Longhorn Network, even though it's still in existence, is really not a thing. It's more or less like a thing locally that they might be able to see down there in Texas. But on the SEC Network, you probably have a channel there that's local outside of some of the other teams that are going to be playing on the 18th as well. Locally, they'll be able to see it on the SEC Network.
Yeah, for my Buckeyes, man, I'm really looking at the offense. I want to see kind of Arthur Smith's base packages to kind of get a feel about what the offense is going to look like. Offensive line is super beat up, man. Austin Sterveld and Philip Daniels is out. Them are both our tackles, so I want to see if anybody in that room is stepping up. I like Ian Moore. I think Ian Moore should be a starter in my opinion. So I don't really understand why he's not running. He wasn't running with the ones in the first place. But really, I just want to see the offensive line, man, because that's my biggest concern. That's it.
Arthur Smith do a lot of play action.
I love that. So we got 2 running backs this year that probably should have been the 2 running backs field the whole time.
So does that mean that Sam will probably be, or whoever the quarterback is, will be up under center a little bit more than what we normally would see in a college game?
That's why I have no clue. That's why I want to see. I have no clue what Arthur Smith, because really, they can do whatever they want. They got everything they need. and that's how I kind of felt last year. But that line got to make a progression too, for real. But from what I've been hearing, that line ain't been looking good at all. So it's still early though. We still got to go through fall camp. I mean spring. Leading into summer or whatever they call it. And it's a lot of time for them guys. Man, we return 4 starters. We shouldn't be going through yelling,
Let me ask you this. How y'all tight end?
We got a kicker. Paul.
Okay.
I said that last year, but this year we got Baylor's kicker. He didn't hit a game winner.
You need one, but that ain't gonna help. That kicker ain't gonna help y'all this year. But listen, do y'all have good tight ends?
Yeah, our tight end room is monster, bro. Hey, we got so Nate Roberts, he started fullback for us last year as a freshman, just so he can get on the field. But we like him a lot. We also got a kid from Ohio. That was a 4-year starter. So he gonna be just like another Wills Kazmarek guy. I like guys like that. Like they not sexy, but they gonna block, and they can catch a ball here and there. You know what I'm saying? But I like them non-sexy tight ends, bro. That's gritty. You feel me? And we got 3 of those on our roster. I can't even think of the other dude's name that we got out of the portal. But we got 4 tight ends right now that we feel comfortable with hitting the floor. And that's good because that's why I feel like they brought Arthur Smith in, because they tried to do this last year. You know what I mean? But I don't think we got the type of blocking that we should have got from our tight ends. And I think he could help teach that. They didn't know what they were seeing when it came to running plays. So I think Arthur Smith will clean a lot of that up, though, for sure.
Yeah, he definitely is. I'm telling you that right now. He loved tight ends. He loved tight ends. You know what I mean?
But
so he will clean that up.
Blocking.
Yeah.
Let me ask Poe a question, man. What kind of season are you expecting from Underwood under Whittingham?
The way they talking, Whittingham and Peck, and this is the first time he had a quarterback coach working with him exclusively. I'm expecting sky's the limit for him. They already said he looking better than what he did last year. I want to see if he see the field better. That's my whole point. If he see that field, because he did a lot of check down and last year instead of giving his wide receivers a chance. You know what I mean? Until he got Marsh, until Marsh really will start playing, I don't think he trusts them guys. You know what I mean? He must have seen something in practice that they wasn't catching a ball or something. But when Marsh got in there, he was throwing it up even when Marsh wasn't open. So I'm anxious to see that where his eyes is at now. Where his eyes be at when he get in trouble. You know what I mean? Because when the quarterback get in trouble, their eyes drop instead of looking downfield still. So I want to see where his eyes at.
Hey, Paul, I ain't worried about none of that. I know what I'm getting out of what's the coach name? Kyle Whittingham. I know he gonna run Underwood 20 times, bro. 15. He gonna run 15 times. Your running back gonna touch the ball 22 times, bro. We already know what's coming. We've been getting prepared for it all spring.
I don't know, man. The way he had what's his name? Dampier last year, he threw the ball a lot. That number 4
ran the ball a lot too, though. He did. He ran the ball.
He did. But I'm saying he ran in spots. I like when he do that situation, when he run in spots. I'm saying our offensive coordinator last year, he was like saving stuff and try to run Underwood against Ohio State. I was like, come on, man. Like, come on.
Hey, PostGame, let me ask you this. You was talking about the Ohio State receivers. Do you think any of them are gonna make it onto the first team or not?
Well, Quincy Porter been out for the spring, so
he always hurt.
We'll see with him, but I don't think at this point you can sit Mylan Graham, man. If just listening to the players at the pressers, they always bring his name up. When you look at the practice highlights, you always see Mylan Graham like just moving differently from everybody. So I don't know how you sit Mylan Graham in a 3 wide receiver set. I know Jaden Greathouse has been dealing with a hamstring, even going back to last season. So I hope he's able to be healthy. Faison is fully committed to football. He's been playing lacrosse. He quit lacrosse to focus on football. So that 3 wide receiver set could be Mylan Graham, Greathouse, and Faison. And with those type of receivers, you're able to put them everywhere on the field. So we'll see how it shakes out.
Let me ask No something. Why the French dude couldn't get on the field for Texas?
Last spring he was the main one that they were talking about, and we thought he was going to be the best out of that group of wide receivers that came in. I think what happened with him was he started falling behind Dylan McCutcheon and Khalil Lockett, and he just wasn't catching on to the system, man. And so he didn't see a way he was going to get on the field before his junior year. So he decided he had to go. He wasn't getting the system down. And Steve Sarkisian wants his wide receivers to learn all of the positions in order to get on that field. And he just wasn't picking it up fast enough like some of those other guys were.
Yeah, because they saying like a couple of these beat writers for Michigan, they saying like dude amazing out there. They said his patterns, they said the way he run patterns is like he's second to none out there. And I was like, why he couldn't get on the field?
That's how they talked about him in the spring last year about James Prince. He was leading all of those young guys when it came to the spring thing, but when they got to fall camp, he fell behind all of those guys, man, and you didn't get to see him on the field much. And I thought he was going to be the one who would be the best out of Dylan McCutcheon, Khalil Lockett, and the Aaron Butler kid. I thought he was going to be better than all of them, but he just didn't see a way onto the field, man. For some reason. I hope there's stuff behind the scenes too that they just ain't saying.
Yeah, I hope this is wake up call.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob.
One last. Oh, go ahead, Paul.
Everybody. Yeah, let me ask Rob something real fast. With y'all new defensive coordinator, do you expect Texas to start off slow on defense and gradually get better with your new defensive coordinator, or do you expect them to come out, defense being up to par day one?
They have a lot of veteran guys on their defense. Even if they played at other universities, there's guys that's been playing college ball for at least 3 years. So I think they're going to start off fast. And if you listen to Will Muschamp in his press conference the other day, he talked about the fact that, and he was mainly talking about the defensive back guys, that if you're not willing to thud, you're not getting on the field. So I think he has a philosophy that he doesn't believe in just have an organic pressure. He believes in sending blitzes and sending numbers. So I think that those young guys who are going to get a chance to play, they're picking up on this system really, really quickly. He's not leaving anything for the fall that he can get in right now in spring. I think they're going to start off fast, but they're going to get better as time goes on because they're going to face some teams who are going to see them in some games, so they're going to have to make some adjustments, of course, because that's just a chess match in football. But they're going to start off, and they're going to be really, really good simply because they have a lot of veteran players, though.
Real quick,
we know y'all hired Will Muschamp just for Julian saying. We know these things.
Real quick, Zay, if you don't mind, man, let me ask you a question. With Carnell Tate going to the NFL. You got Jeremiah Smith down there. Who's going to be that second guy at wide receiver for Ohio State this season?
Man, listen, I don't think it's going to be one guy that's going to be what Cardell Tate was. But you are hearing a lot of noise about Kyle Parker out of LSU right now. And the freshman who everybody thought is going to be Chris Henry Jr., the actual dude that's from this freshman class that's going to see the field most likely early in the year is Brock Boyd. They said Brock Boyd is different, bro. They say he looked like a reincarnation of JSN out there. So that's a lot of high praise. But I think the combination of McEwen, Kyle Parker, Brock Boyd, and Brandon Ennis, and Hankton, he like to rotate his receivers. So I think you'll see all these guys. But I do not think this is a year where, okay, we got another Jeremiah Smith and Chris Henry, and we got a dude who he possibly will be a first-round draft pick one day. But I don't think you're going to see the same type of production out of none of these guys that you've seen from Cardell Tate last year. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a collective effort. They said this is one of our deepest wide, not the best, not the most talented, but the deepest room that we've seen in Zone 6 for about a decade. They said that's what they saying. You know, I'm just a messenger. And, you know, Legend Bay is going to play in that room too. So he's also another guy that's going to get a lot of touches, but he out for the rest of the spring as well. That's it. That's all. That's all she wrote. All right, let's get up out of here, man. Hey, I appreciate all y'all popping up into the podcast this morning. Hey, make sure y'all join tomorrow at 9 a.m. We got the ACC spring preview. Make sure y'all do a little homework. You know, I don't want y'all looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we got WTP for life up there. That's Robert. You can find him on YouTube. We got PostGame in the top right corner. You can find him on YouTube as well. We got Parlay Poe with the Blitzberg podcast. The bottom left, I want to take Zaya. We got SEC Sean also. You can find him on YouTube. Level Up Sports 10 with JoJo Mossberg. You can find him on YouTube and Facebook. Then you got T1 with City League TV. You can find him on Facebook as well. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. You can search that on Patreon at WTP Sports Dudes 2026. And we also got the WTP Sports Dudes website. Please tap into that. You can leave your comments on there, man. We could tap into any topics that you want. Just make sure you leave them in there, and we'll make sure we spin them through the show. Y'all got anything else, man?
Post game, I love that P hat.
I knew you would appreciate it, dog, man. And it's good to have you back up on the podcast, my man.
Thanks, bro.
For sure. Hey, the post grand opening, man. Y'all know what we say though when we out. Peace.
Peace.
Uh-oh.